Hello everyone. Today we are honored to invite our chief architect Yufeng Shen to join us to tell us a little bit of how a Google senior engineer at Chrome OS and then Alibaba chief architect for Alibaba Cloud OS willing to join the tech startup in the blockchain field and join Ultrain to be our chief architect. Tell us a little bit of how he thinks about industry and the key features of Ultrain. Let's welcome Yufeng Shen.
Okay, thanks, Emma. This is Yufeng Shen from Ultrain. Hello, everyone.
So, Yufeng, would you please tell us a little bit of yourself first to introduce a little bit of your background?
Okay, thanks, Emma. So first, a little bit about myself. I used to be working as a senior software engineer in Google, mainly in Chrome and Chrome OS team. For Chrome, I was working on the rendering performance of Chrome's core rendering engine, which is called Blink, and also work on how to build a developer-friendly web app ecosystem. For Chrome OS, I was part of the team that built the world's first touchscreen Chromebook, which is called Pixel. Later, I left Google and joined Alibaba's AliOS team. AliOS was designed to be a totally independent Android free mobile operating system. My main job there was first was building the web ecosystem for the OS, and later on, more broadly, is how to build a more competitive mobile platform for developers, including providing various high-level OS features like artificial intelligence capability, augmented reality capability, and so on. So all in all, my past expertise is mainly in the following areas. One is providing a unified software and hardware solution at the operating system level. The second is building developer-friendly ecosystem. And the third one is on a high level, exploring how cutting-edge technology can push the boundary of the business model and the business society. So blockchain is a pretty new technology. There's no shame to admit that. I'm still a learner in this area, but I do believe that my past experience in operating system and developer ecosystem could be transferred into the blockchain area.
Thank you. So now, since you have a lot of experience in the operating system, now our key question or interest would be how an expert of operating system see the industry of blockchain and how you feel with your expertise could contribute to the movement to the enhancement of a better public chain or infrastructure, and how you view the industry from your background and from your own eye.
Okay, thanks, Emma. I'm gonna talk a little bit about my view of blockchain industry and how I got into this. So back to 2013, I had a friend who is a very enthusiastic Bitcoin believer and propaganda Bitcoin with his whole heart, like giving away Bitcoins to his friends just for free. Actually, the only a few Bitcoins I'm still holding now is from my friend at that time. So his enthusiasm influenced me. Instead of getting into speculation on Bitcoin price as my friend does, I actually started to watch out for the technology behind it. That book, Mastering Bitcoin from Andrea Antonopoulos, served as a very, very good introductory material into the technology behind Bitcoin and the blockchain for me. As commonly put, the Bitcoin is considered to be the blockchain 1.0. It is a very delicate experiment, in my view, very delicate experiment of the combination of a P2P network, cryptography, and what's so-called now the token economy. But at that time, I couldn't see clearly its practical usage behind just simple money transfer. So I was impressed but not hooked. Later on, we saw what's considered the blockchain 2.0, which is the introduction of a smart contract and virtual machine. For people like me who have been in the industry of mobile operating system for so many years, the idea of world's computer or world's virtual machine has no adoption barrier at all. It all sounds so familiar and natural. Things are getting more and more interesting, and I still regret I hadn't joined this movement earlier at that time. But by the way, I think even now is a good time to join, trying this trend. My view is that the tipping point for the blockchain industry is very close now. After all this maniac of ICOs in the last year, after the bubbles of so many scam projects get busted, the whole industry is actually moving toward a very clear direction, which is a production level public chain that can support running large scale practical DX and build a healthy hardware ecosystem and a developer ecosystem on top of it. Both the prospect and of blockchain and the underlying technology make me very excited, and also large part of it actually aligns well with my past experience, like in building a unified software plus hardware solution, like building a healthy developer ecosystem. So as a person who already feels bored of climbing corporate ladder in a large company, making the decision of joining Ultrain and joining the trend of blockchain actually turns out to be surprisingly easy for me.
So, Yufeng, can you tell us a little bit about then, with all the expertise you have and the valuable contributions you could make to a public chain company, why did you choose Ultrain after all, and why you think Ultrain differentiate itself from all the other peers to be a great potential great platform as infrastructure for the blockchain applications?
Okay, thanks, Emma. Yeah, so right. So the question is why Ultrain and how is it different? I think it is the founding team that attracts me. If anything I've learned in my past experience from working on various projects, I think that is team is always the most important factor. People are always the most important factor. I mean, talk is cheap, grand vision is actually cheap. At the end, it is a core team that brings the grand vision into reality. The founding team member of Ultrain is very, I think it's a very versatile yet complementary. The CEO Ray has a very strong characteristic of entrepreneurship and a very strong sense of business. At the end, if the blockchain technology has to prove its value, it proves it through a massive business adoption. And the CEO plays a key role in bridging the technology and the business adoption. And that's exactly our CEO's strength. The CSO Emma shows her talent in capital and marketing side. At a startup, having a fluent capital reserve is crucial for survival. And Emma has an amazing ability in raising capitals for funding and securing our endeavors. If things goes well, rich capital can fuel our progression. But if winter is indeed coming, she helps us to live longer than the competitors. Also, Emma has a very strong international background, which explains her strong strategic position in building Ultrain as an international company and international community from day one. On personal preference, I think the strategy of internationalization aligns with my personal taste. After all, blockchain itself is has a very international root, and I think eventually the winners in this area would definitely be the ones that can build a very strong international community. Then comes the CTO Li Ning, who I have known for quite a long time, back to when we were colleagues in Alibaba, in the AliOS team. He's a seasoned soldier in the mobile operating system area, and he later on joined the Ant Financial's blockchain team, where he has built very deep knowledge and production level experience in the blockchain technology. I do believe that he is capable of leading the team, leading the tech team to bring the Ultrain's vision into reality. The other core team member is Shen, our chief cryptography officer, who has a very, very strong cryptography background, both in terms of educational background and industrial application background. There aren't actually many cryptography scientists around the world, and even less, even rare in the blockchain industry. But on the other hand, cryptography is the foundation of blockchain technology. I think having a strong cryptography talent in the team brings the team a very unique competitive advantage when compared with other blockchain startups. All right, back to the point. Why I choose to join Ultrain, I think it's because I believe in the people here. I believe in the team's various capabilities that are key to success, which are entrepreneurship, down to the earth sense of business, capital raising capability, internationalized marketing and community building strategy, seasoned IT and production experience, and the unique cryptography talents. All right, I think I have to stop boasting here. But yeah, if you think what I said makes sense, you're also very welcome to join us.
Thank you very much. So now, as the chief architect of Ultrain, would you please share to the public audience a little bit of the key features of Ultrain and what problem it solves, and how it could really benefit all the global developers of real sincere developers really trying to develop something and make more complicated and more interesting applications on top of any public chain, what Ultrain could do for them.
Okay, thanks, Emma. Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about some of Ultrain's key technical features in more details. To support running massive dApps in large scale, the major problem all the existing public chain are facing is the low DPS. But we also need to realize that TPS is not the only dimension of the performance benchmark. There are also the degree of decentralization, the degree of security that needs to be considered altogether when we are providing a holistic solution. For example, EOS now can greatly boost the TPS number by coordinating a very limited set of nodes. It might have its market, but it won't be the type of trade-off that we at Ultrain would take. Permissionless network is definitely our bottom line. So our consensus layer would be based on power of stake plus a VRF integration, and we call it the RPOS or the random POS. We choose POS because compared with Bitcoin's POW, it has better throughput and a better time to confirmation. And most importantly, it doesn't waste computational resources at all, as does in POW, which can be saved to run smart contract to provide practical value. So we have a VRF built on top. And so we know that large-scale POS and quick consensus are somewhat contradictory. So we have VRF built on top of the POS framework to randomly sample potential block producers. And once a small set of candidates are selected, we then can build on top of the another layer of algorithm for reaching quicker consensus, like BFT flavored algorithms. I'm not going into details here, but you are welcome to check out our consensus yellow paper on our website. But the key here is that among all competing features a blockchain design has to make a trade-off for, we choose to promote an open permissionless network with adequate throughput for supporting practical usage. It's also worth mentioning that there are also some other existing algorithms which have similar VRF plus POS structure, like Algorand, Definity, etc. To be fair, I would say each algorithm have its own unique emphasis on different dimensions, like throughput, concurrent performance, bandwidth usage, and communication overhead. And no single algorithm in practice would have tremendous advantages over other algorithms in all the critical dimensions. At the end, it's all about trade-off versus application scenarios. and the maturity of implementation. Another distinctive design feature of Ultrain is the scheduling of computational resources. We are familiar with the trilemma that a blockchain design has to strike a balance between decentralization, scalability, and security. One extreme case is like Ethereum, where every smart contract has to be processed by every node, which ensures the maximal decentralization and security, but at the cost of no scalability at all. Sharding and sidechains are emerging technologies that would trade a certain degree of decentralization and security for better throughput performance. We will definitely look out for this for the progress in these technologies, but we also have a higher level thinking on this problem. So we tackle the problem in the form of a computational resource scheduling. Blockchain system is actually, we consider it as a connector. On one side, it connects the participating nodes, which we used to call them miners. They are looking for economical reward through providing computational resources like hardware. The other side of system it connects is the dApps. The developers, they pay for the miners through transaction fees for getting a decentralized, secured, and performed service. So my view is that the job of a blockchain is to schedule the supply and the demand in an economically efficient way. Take the current Ethereum as example. A smart contract might need 1,000 nodes to replicate its execution, so to ensure security. But the Ethereum network replicates a smart contract running on all the nodes, which is way more than the needed 1,000 nodes. That is like providing way more than the enough service the dApp actually needs. And on the miner side, the reward of their provided utility is actually diminishing. And on the app developer side, they are simply overcharged, I think. With this in mind, I think a good blockchain design needs a much smarter scheduling algorithm that for miners, it can improve their ROI, aka return on investment. And for apps developer, it can provide a cost-effective service. And overall, the whole system has a higher efficiency. This guideline can work with either sidechain or sharding technologies. How you organize the sidechain and allocating nodes to each sidechain, or how you divide the whole network into shards. This should all be guided under this principle of maximizing the system's overall efficiency while maintaining the needed security and decentralization. I do believe this design feature of Ultrain would make it a very attractive blockchain platform for dApps developers. Yeah, thank you.
So as a closing note of today, thank you so much for Yufeng's time to share with us about his background and how he view the blockchain industry, why he joined Ultrain and Ultrain's key features. So I'd like to borrow one word he said, as it's always interesting to push the boundaries of business models and business scenarios by the advanced technology and advanced innovations. Blockchain, in our view, is a cross-sector combination, a beautiful art of cross-disciplinary work and innovations in brilliant minds and incentive plans to make it a beautiful creature could potentially make a big change, impact of the world to influence and improve the current business models and scenarios. Let's join forces together to make the advanced technology do some meaningful contributions to the world, and as Ultrain believes that we will realize the technology and really benefit the real developers and benefit the real industry players to be able to provide blockchain to them to enhance or fundamentally revolutionize their ideas or their current industry. Let's hope that we can together make a better world and make strong impact of the world by the movement of blockchain technology. Thank you, everyone.